Let's get this going.
Here we are. Ready?
All right.
Mr. Bustillos, do you post any of your videos to any other YouTube channels besides Stray Dog the Exposer?
SDTE News.
SDTE News?
Yes.
What does STDE stand for?
Stray Dog the Exposer News.
Okay, makes sense. Any other YouTube channels besides that?
That's my business right there.
Okay. Do you own or operate any other YouTube channels besides those two?
Yes.
What are they?
My other one, my third one. Uh-huh.
Okay. Any others?
That's it.
Are you a Facebook user?
Yes.
What's your username?
My name,
Under Jerome or Albert?
Jerome.
Okay.
Well, I'm fixing to close it. I had only opened it for business purposes because I closed it over a year ago. And then when I had what did I sell last? Or when I was looking for cars and stuff like that, I was like, I need to go on there and check out the, what do you call it, the marketplace and look for things. But I don't even comment or nothing on there no more.
Do you use TikTok?
No.
Do you use Instagram?
No.
Have you ever?
No.
Do you use Snapchat?
No. Snapchat, do I? No, I don't.
Do you use any other social media accounts besides those I listed?
I don't think so.
Okay. Other than income...
I'm sorry, Twitter.
And I didn't even ask that. What's your username or handle on Twitter?
Stray Dog the Exposer, I guess. I'm not really sure. I don't use it. I just know I have an account there.
Okay.
So I have used it like a long time ago, but it's just there.
All right. Other than income that you've gotten from YouTube for your videos, other than that, have you ever sold any of your videos?
Not yet.
Okay. Have any of your videos ever been used by any kind of a news station or news website?
The last time I was too late, so no.
What do you mean the last time you were too late?
Because to submit, because you have to edit the video and submit it to them, and when I did, I had to take my daughter to school and take care of some quick things that morning. So by the time I did, somebody had already submitted their video. But now, Carlsbad Police Department and Artesia Police Department kind of ruined any chance I had with our KRQE News. Because after I was arrested here in Artesia, they called the chief of police of Artesia called the manager, whoever it is at KRQE, and said, "Do not report on this guy. He's just whatever, and nothing serious. So don't, because they were gonna do a story on it, and they turned them off. It wasn't until after I was hemmed up in Carlsbad that they said, you know what, this dude does got something. So they put the two segments together and made a video, but they still try to make me look bad.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, just getting away from me.
Oh, sorry. So that's what happened, and
So how do you know the Artesia police chief made that phone call?
from what's her name? She's a reporter for KRQE News.
She told you that the Artesia police chief made that call?
Yes, and I have a recording, I believe. I had to go look again, but
Recording of what?
of our conversation when she telling me why, because I had called her. She was on Facebook, and I contacted her, said about the video. She said she was aware of it, but her bosses aren't interested because the chief called and said, "Do not run this, whatever." So the police also control the media apparently.
Okay, if you have a copy of that recording, can you give it to your attorney?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to look. I can't promise I still have it, but I know I did record it, and my computer's been kind of backed up and cleaned and done all this stuff. So if it's there, I hope it is. If not, but if it is, I will find it. I was gonna say, well, I know, I figured they wouldn't want it, but I have the raw
I
footage.
already tried. Yeah, I know. And actually, the police department was the one who reached out to us and first told us about it. They didn't want us to hear about it through someone else. So they called us and said that, hey, this happened.
They're trying to get
I'm
ahead
like,
of it, huh?
oh, okay. Yeah, they were trying to get ahead of it, and I mean, they even said that. You know,
Right.
they were like, we're trying to get ahead of this, you know, before it gets too out of hand. But still, like, obviously, you saw it got out of hand. So.
Yeah.
And before I forget, just for the record, during our last break, I took the thumb drive that contained that video that I watched a while ago with Mr. Bustillos and gave it to the court reporter, and we're going to make that thumb drive, which has nothing but that video on it, as Exhibit 1 to the deposition. Do you have a PayPal account, Mr. Bustillos?
Yes.
Okay. What for? For what purpose?
For business.
Okay. Have there ever been any transactions on your PayPal account related in any way at all to this incident that we're here for today?
I don't believe there have been.
Okay.
I've received donations, or I have received. I don't receive it like lots. People's give me $5 here, you know, whatever. But my PayPal is you know, so I can buy things through PayPal also. But it's also it's a business account, PayPal. I got the thing to scan credit cards and everything.
Has anybody ever used your PayPal account to pay you for any of your cop watching videos?
No.
Okay. What did you tell me it was for?
It's mine and my daughter's name put together.
Do you have a GoFundMe page?
No.
Have you ever had one?
Yeah.
It's not active anymore?
No, I took it off. It was like, I don't want that.
When did you shut that down?
A few months ago.
Okay, why did you shut it down?
I just don't need it.
Why
I
did
was just told to put it out there. Go get you a PayPal account. I mean, a GoFundMe account and stuff. I'm like, okay, and I set it up, and then I got, I don't know, I don't remember. I got like 2 or 3 donations. I had even another attorney. I had several attorneys trying to take this case on, and you know, I rejected a lot of them.
Who were the other attorneys?
Local attorneys. I don't remember their names. The Artesia attorneys, and yeah.
You don't remember any of their names?
No.
Were there any transactions on your GoFundMe page or your GoFundMe account that were related in any way to this incident?
No. It was just donations for my cause. You know, nothing was for this video specifically.
Your GoFundMe page has on there, it says, helping to push this powerful movement.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean, push this powerful movement?
First Amendment activism.
Okay. It also says, helping keep public officials honest and exposing the bad apples.
There you go.
What does that mean?
Exactly what it says. That's exactly what it means.
Who are the bad apples? What does that mean?
Any bad government officials. Any rogue cops, anyone.
When you got arrested that day on 9/11, I take it that you're not contending, you're not claiming that any excessive force was used on you during your arrest, are you?
He put handcuffs on me. That's excessive force. Any force used against me was excessive.
Okay. Other than him putting handcuffs on you, are you claiming that otherwise excessive force was used on you?
I'm claiming the fact that I was apprehended, cuffed, you know, put in mechanical shackles, put in a very small concrete room. All that is excessive.
Okay.
All of it from the very beginning, because none of it was necessary.
Okay, so you're making a claim in this case that excessive force was used in the course of your arrest and when you were put in jail.
The arrest itself is excessive.
I understand you're claiming that you weren't supposed to be arrested in the first place.
That's what I'm
What
claiming.
I need to find out is whether you're claiming that in the course of being arrested, excessive force was used against you.
I wasn't beaten to a
Yeah,
bloody
let me
pulp.
jump in there. Let me jump in, Albert. There is
Okay.
no claim for excessive force. So
Right.
it's simply the claims that are in the complaint. So
All right.
go ahead. All right.
The police officers that you were involved with, Bailey and Sanchez, they never tried to stop you from filming, did they?
Not until they arrested me.
Okay. And they never touched your camera rig until after you were arrested and escorted to the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
And they never tried to physically force you to produce your ID, did they?
Yes. It was. I was under duress, but I got arrested instead. Well, no, they didn't physically force me. Oh, sorry.
That was my question. They never tried to physically force you to produce your ID, did they?
Not in that sense, no.
Okay. They simply asked you repeatedly for your ID, right?
When Bailey said that's an arrestable offense,
They asked you over and over for your ID, right?
they asked a few times.
Yeah. Okay. And in fact, neither of those officers ever touched you at all until they put you in handcuffs, right?
Right.
All right. As I understand, I need to follow the progression from the time you were arrested until the time you were released. Okay. So they put handcuffs on you. They escort you to the vehicle. They put you in the vehicle, and they take you. Where is the next place that you go?
To jail.
To the Artesia jail, or
Yes.
to the
No,
detention
to our
center?
Artesia jail, into their Sally Port. Went in, got booked, and then from there they transported me and another guy to Eddy County Detention.
How long would you say you spent in the Artesia jail from the time you got there until you were headed out with that other guy?
You know, I don't even know. I'd say maybe between an hour and a half and 3 hours, but I don't know.
Okay. Then you got taken, and when you got to the Artesia jail, you were booked, meaning that they took your belongings, they fingerprinted you, they photographed you. What else did they do to you in the Artesia jail?
Just a typical booking process.
What else is there in that besides what I've already listed?
That's pretty much it, I think.
Okay. Were you given clothes to change into?
Did I change there or? I don't remember if they changed me there or in Carlsbad.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't remember at all.
Did you?
I would guess they did there, but I really don't remember.
Did you see any kind of a judge or anything like that at the Artesia City jail?
No.
Okay. Were you ever put in a jail cell at the Artesia City jail?
Yes.
How long were you in that cell?
That about an hour and a half to 3 hours, I'd say.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not 100% on the length of time, but I was put in a cell there.
While you were at the Artesia City jail, from the time you got there till the time you started to be transported to Carlsbad, did anything unusual or bad or harmful to you happen at the Artesia jail?
No.
Okay. So then you get transported down to Carlsbad to the Eddy County Detention Center, right?
Yes.
And that's in a van with one other prisoner?
Yeah, SUV, but yes.
I'm sorry?
SUV.
Okay. And then what happened when you got to the detention center in Carlsbad?
They just booked us there and, put me in a room, and that's where I stayed.
Okay. Were you in a cell by yourself in Carlsbad or with somebody else?
I was in, I think, an 8-man room or something like that, or a 10-man room for like the first, I don't know, few hours, and then they moved me to a 2-man cell.
And you had somebody else in there with you?
Yes.
Okay. And did you stay in that 2-man cell until you got released?
Yes.
Okay. So the first night after you got arrested, you spent at the detention center in Carlsbad?
Yes.
Okay. And then were you released the next day, the day after you got arrested?
2 days.
Okay. So you spent 2 nights at the detention center in Carlsbad?
Yes.
Okay. And you were in that...
So I keep sliding out of this chair. It's
Sorry.
weird. I'm sorry.
You were in that 2-person cell the whole time, other than the 8 or 10-man cell initially. The rest of the time you were in that 2-person cell the whole time?
Yes.
Okay. And then tell me what happened when you went before the judge or got released. Describe that process for me.
Waited my turn, and then he had me verify my information on the paper, and then he released me on my recognizance.
So you didn't have to post a bond?
No.
You were released on your own recognizance?
Yes.
Okay. And my understanding is there was some sort of delay in that process because of your refusal to provide ID. Is that correct or not?
Refusal to give my social security number.
That's it, yeah. Tell me what happened as far as that's concerned.
I just didn't want to give these strangers my social security number.
And was that at Artesia or in Carlsbad?
Artesia.
Okay. Did it appear to you as though you would have gotten processed sooner if you had given them your social security number?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Was there any discussion about your social security number or you giving it whenever you were talking to the judge?
I don't remember. I just remember they faxing a paper over, and then I had to look over the paper and verify all the information on there was correct. And when I did that, then I think I signed it, and then they faxed it back, and then he sent over the release forms or whatever, and then they did that, to help process me.
When you got to the Carlsbad Detention Center, was there any more discussion about your social security number at that point?
No.
Okay. While you were at the Eddy County Detention Center, either in the initial booking or in the 8 to 10 man cell or in the 2-person cell, did anything bad or unusual or harmful or improper happen to you while you were there?
No.
Okay. At any point from when you got arrested until you were released 2 days later, did you ever get into any kind of a fight or have any kind of physical harm done to you at all?
No.
Did you receive all the meals that you were supposed to get while you were in their system?
Yes.
Did you have to have any medical care while you were in their system?
No.
Did you ask for any?
Actually, I didn't eat when I was in there. I fasted when I was in there because I have holes in my teeth, and they won't give me a toothpick to pick my teeth after I'm done eating, and which would, so actually was giving my bunkie my food.
So you didn't eat the whole time?
I drank the juice and I'd sip on water and just fasted. And you can actually see I lost weight while I was in there.
Okay.
And they said they can't give me a toothpick. I said, well, then I can't eat.
So you asked them for a toothpick to go with your meal, and they said no?
After I'm done eating, I said, I can't eat. I need a toothpick because I have holes in my teeth. And they're like, we can't give you a toothpick. I was like, well, I can't eat then. How am I supposed to eat?
Was that at the detention center in Carlsbad?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that happened to you between the time that you got handcuffs put on you and when you were released from the detention center that you think is important that we haven't talked about?
No.
Okay. As not talking about this arrest, but at any other point in your life, do you think you've ever been in a situation where police officers have used excessive force on you?
On me, no.
Okay. After this arrest in September of 2018, have you been arrested again for any reason anywhere?
I've been handcuffed and detained, but I've surrendered my ID under threat of duress or under duress, but I haven't been again booked and
Arrested and booked?
and put in jail.
Okay. And that thing you're talking about is what happened in Carlsbad? right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to that. Other than this incident, and I guess your DUI, other than those 2 times, have you ever spent any time in jail anywhere for any other reason?
Just those times we mentioned. I was trying to think of everything if there might have been something else, but no.
Okay. So nothing else that we haven't covered?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
Have you ever been to prison for any reason?
No.
Okay. What do you consider, Mr. Bustillos, to be your damages in this case?
Unlawful detainment, unlawful arrest.
Okay, let me stop you there. I understand that those are the things that you are contending was done wrong to you, that you were arrested when you shouldn't have been, that you were detained when you shouldn't have been, that your rights were violated. Those are the things you think were done wrong to you. What I'm trying to find out is how and in what way do you think you were damaged because of those things that were done wrong to you?
They made my daughter cry.
When she watched the video?
Yes.
Okay. What about, and I understand that, and I'm not trying to downsize that, okay, or downplay that. I'm not. But what I want to find out is what damages were done to you.
They made my daughter cry, and I felt it.
Okay. So you felt emotional distress over that, I assume?
Lots, for quite a while. My daughter was afraid of police for a long time.
Okay.
And like I said, it made me lose interest in what I had a passion in.
Which was what?
Photography and videography.
Okay. You still do those things?
I don't want to because I got cops, tyrannical cops that think they can just come and step over people like we're their property.
Okay. Have you still done some of that since you got arrested in Artesia?
Very, very few, and not hardly none for quite a while.
When was the last one you would have done?
I did one like a month or so ago.
Where was that?
A cop watch, outside the grocery store or a convenience store.
In Carlsbad?
Yeah. It was just a simple traffic stop, nothing special. But that's what I do. It's a traffic stop. I'm gonna document and record.
Did you get hassled on that one at all?
Not at all. And that was another good encounter. As a matter of fact, that I forgot to show you earlier. So that's just like if it's whatever I record is what I put on there. So if it's good, it's gonna be good. If it's bad, it's gonna be bad. The cops expose themselves. If they want to look good, they can look good. If they want to look bad,
So you
that's on
post
them.
the videos where the cops do right.
I post whatever I record,
All of them.
all of them.
Okay.
I don't pick and
So-
choose what I put out there.
So other than emotional distress, what other damages are you contending that you have in this case?
Well, I mean, if you're trying to think of like as far as income and stuff, I believe I could have made a decent living as doing what I do. Especially, I had got signed up as a paparazzi for. I have a friend out of California who's a paparazzi, and he got me connected with his agent in got the number here, as a matter of fact, if you want to see it. Yes, I believe I had potential to begin making money. You know, even if it wasn't going to be billions of dollars, I think I would have been very good supplemental income for
And
me.
you think that's been taken away from you because of what happened in Artesia?
I think it put a big stall on it.
Okay. Any other ways in which you think you've lost income because of this?
No, that was basically it. This is what I intended to do, and you know, to put food on our table,
Okay.
add a little more substance to our
Other
lives.
than having to see your daughter injured by what she saw, are there other ways in which you believe you suffered emotional distress because of what happened here?
Yeah, a little bit of PTSD.
Okay. Has anybody ever diagnosed you with PTSD?
No,
Okay.
I just, you know, you feel it when they're around,
When who's around?
when the police come near you.
Okay. After you got arrested in Artesia and not talking about the situation in Carlsbad, putting that aside, have you had any other encounters with the police subsequent to being arrested in Artesia? Even if it's just a traffic stop of yourself?
Well, everybody's dealt with police.
Have you dealt with the police since you got arrested in Artesia?
Oh, no. Other than like I said, you know, the Carlsbad incident. I've
So they haven't had to come to your house for a distress call or anything like that?
Oh no, I don't call the police.
Okay. All right, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Any other ways you think you've had emotional distress damage from this besides what we've covered?
No. Well, this morning was pretty hectic, trying to drag my car out here. But no, I mean, to me that's a very big deal. You know what my daughter and all that, and what I had to feel for her and all this.
How much do you think your damages in this case are worth?
$1 million easy.
Okay.
That's how much my rights are worth to me.
How do you come up with that figure?
Because so many people have died. That is a very, very what do you call it? what's the word I'm looking for? Not reserved, generous, or I think it's worth more than that. I think I'm just being generous by saying $1 million and kind of rounding it down.
What do you think it's worth on the top end?
Probably closer to 10.
$10 million?
Yes.
Okay.
5 million a day.
Meaning the 48 hours that you were locked up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, speaking of that, you were arrested at about 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the afternoon on September 11th. And then you're saying that you got released from the detention center 2 days later on September 13th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The time, I'm not sure.
More or less, what time did you get out of the detention center? Was it
I think it was the same time. I think it was literally 48 hours exactly.
like early afternoon?
I believe so.
Okay. So it wasn't in the morning and it wasn't at night. It was sometime.
I think it was like, because I think court was I forget. I think it was right at the same time. Like I don't know, but it was.
Okay. Your complaint says that part of your damages include your attorney's fees that you had to pay to defend the criminal charges against you. How much have you paid in attorney's fees for defending the criminal charges?
Mr. Kennedy,
You,
is he still there?
Yeah, Albert.
Did you?
I'm asking him
we
how
have
much.
yeah, I heard. We have I forget what we have. We can give that to you, Brian, at Discovery.
Okay.
But Albert hasn't paid anything out of pocket. It's a concept of a lien on any civil recovery. So,
Okay,
but I can give you that criminal offense agreement.
I appreciate that. So, Mr.
Not a problem.
Bustillos, so far you haven't paid Mr. Kennedy and his firm any money out of your pocket so far. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You just have an agreement that his firm will represent you both for the criminal matter and for this case.
Yes.
Okay.
Contingency, I believe.
That's one word for it, yeah. Have you had to pay any expenses out of, not attorney's fees, but expenses of any kind out of your pocket for this whole situation so far? You didn't have to post a bond. Did you have to pay any expenses related
think
to
I
being
have.
in jail?
I don't think I've paid anything out of pocket yet.
Okay, the situation in Carlsbad, you're currently suing the city of Carlsbad over that detention, right?
Yes.
Okay. What happened in that incident?
I was violated again. Another cop comes and gets in my face, rips my phone out of my hand, and puts me in handcuffs.
I don't need to know about that in as near as much detail as what we've talked about on this Artesia incident, but sort of in a nutshell, tell me what happened.
Okay, from the beginning in a nutshell. I was just outside my mom's salon.
In Carlsbad?
In Carlsbad. And down the street, I seen a lady in the streets, rolling in the streets. Cars were stopping and honking at her and everything. Then she ends up on the sidewalk. And I said, I know they're calling the cops. The cops are going to come. I'm going to get my camera and go record and make sure they give her the proper treatment, that they didn't rough her up or stuff. So that's what I did. I went and I recorded. And I was, over 60 feet away is where I stood. And because she had a problem with me standing there with my camera.
Who did?
That lady. I don't know her name. She had mental issues. I don't know if she was on drugs. I think she would have mental issues. I'm not sure. Maybe having an episode. But, they enforced her feelings rather than my constitutional rights.
What do you mean they enforced her feelings?
Because she had a problem with me being there. And then she started calling me a pedophile. Excuse me?
Let me jump in here again. I mean, this incident is on video as well, Brian, if that helps.
Okay, I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Yeah, not a problem.
And so...
And obviously we can get that to you.
So he literally walked 60-something feet.
Who did?
Sergeant Daniel Vasquez literally walked over 60 feet to me, and then told me to leave. And I said, I'm not leaving. I'm on public property, and all this stuff. I even had a right to get closer, but I didn't. I respected their distance. I didn't want to interfere, and I wasn't trying to embarrass the lady. I was making sure that they treated her properly. They didn't go and slam her on the floor and punch her while they're telling her quit resisting, stuff like that. They didn't break her arm, break her shoulder. They didn't do none of that stuff. I wanted to make sure, and if they did, it was going to be recorded. That's all it was. I minded my own business. I didn't talk to none of them. I talked a little bit to my audience and to my daughter. She was watching my live stream then too.
Sorry.
All right. I was watching. I was talking to. I never spoke to them, to the police or her. I was talking to my daughter and to people that were watching my live stream. And again, I went live for my safety, because I was initially recording when I was walking in. But when Daniel Vasquez was already giving me attitude at the beginning, I felt that, this dude's gonna give me trouble. So I went live for my protection, and obviously I was right. I needed it.
So what happened when Vasquez walked towards you?
He says that it's time for me to go and to leave. And I said, no, I'm on public property. And then what he was really doing was trying to distract me and block me in case they did hurt her. I wouldn't. But I had two cameras, so even though I had this one here, I had my one on my chest pointing that way towards her, so she was still, on camera. And then when he realized I wasn't gonna, back off, he says okay and walks away. But clearly, with a bruised ego, he turns around and comes back to me. Give me your ID. And I said, And he says, give me your ID, deal. And he gets in my face and just goes like, do you want to go to jail? Do you want? And then he ripped my phone out of my hand, puts it in his back pocket. And I said, whoa, this dude's going to hurt me. So I turned around and said, let's go. Put my hands behind my back, and he put the handcuffs on. Then he escorted me.
So had he told you that you were under arrest?
No, not yet.
Then why did you put your hands behind your back?
Because he says, do you want to go to jail? I said, well, then let's go. I don't want you to hurt me.
Okay.
This dude was roid raged. Sorry, I got a piece of eyelash from my mouth.
Okay, what happened then?
So he escorts me above my elbow towards his vehicle, towards the other side of the park, which is a de facto arrest, and said that I have to give him my ID or I'm gonna go to jail. So eventually, when I got him on camera to admit that I will go to jail if I don't surrender my ID.
I'm sorry, when you got him on camera to admit
that if I don't give him my ID, that I'll go to jail. And I asked him, if I don't give you my ID, will you take me to jail? And he says, yes, that is the consequence. I said, okay, then I'll give you my ID under duress. So he says, okay. So there it is. So I surrendered under duress so I could save myself bail money, because that Saturday was mine and my daughter's birthday. So that's why I didn't want to spend our birthday money, because I had a big party for my daughter. I didn't want to spend it on bail money. So I surrendered it under duress.
What are you're suing Vasquez and the Carlsbad Police Department, right?
Yes.
What are you contending that they did wrong?
All I just said. Okay. Unlawful arrest, unlawful detainment, the threat of arrest, all this stuff.
They never actually arrested you, did they?
That was an arrest. That was a de facto arrest.
Okay, you weren't booked or taken to jail, were you?
No.
Okay. After they took the cuffs off of you, you were allowed to leave, right?
Yes, I was unarrested at that time.
Okay.
At that point.
Is that suit in state court or federal court?
We're in federal. Well, it's a magistrate, but until we get to federal.
Do you have an attorney for you in that case?
No, I'm trying pro se.
Why do you not have an attorney in that case?
Because I think this is something that citizens need to learn. Most citizens can't afford an attorney.
Have you ever tried to get an attorney for that Carlsbad case?
No, actually my attorney, but I'm very fortunate that he was able, that Mr. Kennedy represented me. Like I said, there was several attorneys trying to take this case on, but I wasn't just going to take anyone. I did my research, and I think Mr. Kennedy was one of the best, if not the best, and I trust him, and I gave it to him.
Okay.
So, like I said, I'm also an educator. I teach people the rights on my channel. I show them how to stand their ground, and I'm also going to teach them when I become successful in this, because I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I don't expect to really win this case. But what I expect to do is learn from it. So then the next one comes along, I can do this, and I want to teach my audience how to do that too. So because when this happens to them, like it does most of them, which is why they do watch our channels, because they want to learn how to stand their ground, protect themselves. They'll learn how to do it pro se themselves without.
What are your damages in that Carlsbad case?
Forced to surrender my ID.
Okay. Why did you choose to surrender your ID in that case, but not in the situation in Artesia?
Because, like I said, I had a birthday, and my daughter had a birthday Saturday, and I didn't want to waste my money on bail money.
Okay.
That would money I would never get back again, all because that cop wanted to be a jerk.
And just to be sure, in the Artesia case, you never had to pay any bail money, right?
No.
Other than this case and the case down in Carlsbad, have you ever sued anybody for any reason
No.
at all?
Never. This is my first ever.
Has anybody ever sued you for any reason?
No.
Okay. Have you ever filed for bankruptcy?
No.
Okay. Mr. Bustillos, have you understood all the questions I've asked today?
I believe so.
While we're all still sitting here together, do you want to change any of the answers you've given me?
Nope. I don't think so.
Okay. I pass the witness, Joe. Are you there, Joe?
I keep forgetting that's in a coaster behind that.
Joe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm done with my questions, I believe. I pass the witness.
Okay, I have no questions. We'll read and sign. However, that means the court reporter is going to give you a transcript of this deposition and give you an opportunity to read it and review it for any potential errors. I'm sure the court reporter did not make any errors in this deposition, but it may happen, and so you have a chance to do that, okay?
Okay, do I do that here or at home or?
At home. I'll get a copy of the transcript. I'll send it out to you if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
So are we done here?
Thanks, Brian. I
We're done.
appreciate you allowing me to do this by phone, and, you know,
Of course. Our pleasure. No problem.
Yeah, well-
Yeah, Albert, we're done.
talk to you on Thursday.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yes, sir. We're
Alright,
done.
let me turn this off now. Thanks, guys.